Oh, you said we'll all do ways?
Fucking got
You've made me look a right idiot now, haven't you?
You don't need us to make you look like an idiot.
Straight away. All right, welcome along SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch. With myself, Philly, we have the super sexy Michael Bowers. Have you had a good day, Michael?
Better than yesterday, so by default, yes. Good day.
And just a little, just to let you all know, so you can paint a mental picture, we all sat here wearing Michael Bowers type shorts on. We have
very high up the legs. Trends. I don't follow trends. I start them.
Yeah,
he's a trendsetter. Bedwetter.
Yeah.
We're with Jack Dodds as well. Jack, have you had a good day?
Yes, it's been okay. Much better than yesterday.
Been playing football with your new friends?
I have been playing football, yeah.
Football friends.
One as well.
Right, that's good. And on the end, we got Dino. Dino, have you had a good day, mate?
Nah, just boring, same old, really.
Nah, just boring, same old.
Interesting news.
I love how you give him like a basic intro and he gives you the most basic answer ever.
Well,
that's great.
So it is. We did actually show you last week where we did the 3Vs mug because we have got a Tony Lee who.
Can we not sell that one as well?
Well, no, I don't think so.
Please put the picture in.
But Tony Lee, who's a fan of the show and is always in the chat, said, "Can I have a 3Vs mug?" So we did that just for him. And there he is. That's Tony Lee. There he is. Anthony Lee on the chat. Tony Lee to his friends with his 3V mug.
Hey,
3Vs
Tony,
mug.
you get to see us staring at you through a mug.
It was him who ordained us as the 3Vs, wasn't it? So it's very fitting.
Yeah, to be fair.
We don't even know what it means. But there you
well,
go.
it's the three visionaries, apparently, which I would deeply agree with, apart from Dino.
Yeah. Right then, of course, we are live, which means you can join us via the live chat. As always, first up, Las Palmas Mackham on there. We've got to give a shout out to Jake Taylor. Jake Taylor is actually a Middlesbrough fan and is going, ha, and all that, which is we could do back to you for supporting Middlesbrough, but we're all friends together here, and good luck to Middlesbrough. I know you hate Sunderland, but we don't mind yous at all, to be honest. Robert Foster is there. David Joblin, hello to you. Jimmy, hey Jimmy. And Dean SAFC, is that you, Dean?
That's definitely not me.
Is that definitely not you? And Thin is in there as well. If you want to join in the show, please use the live chat, and we can do that. Yesterday, then, back to earth with a bump. Our home unbeaten record went for a Burton. We weren't playing Burton, were we? Charlton. Sunderland 0, Charlton 1. Before we get on to the game, we've got to start with the referee, because the referee, you know, was the big talking point of yesterday. So Darren Drysdale. Michael, do you want to start us off? Your thoughts on Darren Drysdale?
I take it you prefer me to do this without swearing, wouldn't you?
Well, I'd prefer you not to swear. We do have younger members
on the channel.
Okay, condensed, friendly version. That is one of arguably the worst refereeing display I've ever seen at the Stadium of Light. Certainly, and arguably for a Sunderland game. And that takes some doing, considering the dross we have had in League One. I remember the game we played. Luton.
I remember them, like Bros. Yeah. Do you remember Bros?
Yeah.
You're not that young.
I am.
Shut up, man. All right, go on then.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, I remember I think it's Lee Probert who refereed our game against Luton back in the first season in League One at the Stadium of Light. He was atrocious that game. It's typical of the referees that like to have their big day out and make the game about themselves. It's just embarrassing. It's criminal. And this is the same referee who allegedly headbutted Alan Judge. I think his name's Alan Judge from Ipswich, which was from last season, which obviously, go and find it. The clip's online. It's on Twitter. It's on social media. You can find it for yourselves. But it's just ridiculous. And by the way, I'll make this clear. We're not saying this just because we're lost. But I mean, but the refereeing standards in League One are generally shocking, and we've had some decisions go our way which have been atrocious in and of itself. Two examples that come to mind was the Bradford goal that was clearly over the line on Boxing Day, and the one where the clash of heads when we beat Bristol Rovers 3-0, which led up to our second goal. You know, there's countless examples. But as for yesterday, it was don't get me started. It was just ridiculous. There was so many decisions. I mean, you showed us one and I wasn't even aware of in the centre of the park before we came on air. So it's another one. I mean, they had the Tom Flanagan alleged headbutt. You have a foul on Pritchard, which should have been given as a foul. There was obviously a lot of controversy with the goal. And Charlton, and as we talked about before, coming on air, not Jack, specifically everybody, but the time wasting was just ridiculous. And I don't blame Charlton for time wasting. Any team in that situation would do that. It's fair enough. But my God, the amount of times that they took pretty much half a minute to take a goal kick, take a throw in, and he didn't even bother to do anything about it. And it's not just exclusive to this referee. Everyone's done that. But yeah, I think he's up there with one of the worst, if not the worst ref I've ever seen.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly on the chat, Marion Trowell says, hello, everyone. You all calm down after that dismal match. Well, to be honest, Bowers was spitting feathers yesterday. He was really, really angry. In fact, you wanted to fight someone, didn't you? No, well, maybe that's going a bit far.
I felt very sorry for anyone who was close to me in the stadium yesterday.
He hadn't had a shower in 3 days.
Yeah, I was raging, to say the least.
SAFC Republic says the referee grew up in Newcastle. We will touch on that. We're back to your touching again on a Sunday night. We'll have a look at that a little bit later on as well. Also, then Derek Hutchinson says the referee was an absolute not very nice person. Apparently, Tony Lee on there is also saying I'm one of the bees. He is Blitz ref was a Geordie. Emma Wilson, friend of the show. She's getting married in 5 weeks. We had her up on stage on yesterday at the Wheat Sheaf, and me and Kaz are all going to the wedding, and I've got to wear my suit.
I'm seeing you in a suit.
Says evening, lads.
Better than seeing you in them shorts.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, your banner's on form tonight, isn't it?
Evening, lads.
Just like you, Michael.
Is that a different hat, Dino?
That's the one you made, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something like that. All right.
Emma, tell Dino how nice he looks in the hat.
Right then, Dino.
Yeah.
The referee, your thoughts yesterday?
I thought he was really good.
Do you want to sit a bit further forward? I don't like because I think you're up to no good behind me.
I thought he was really good. He was a good referee. He made all the correct. No, he was terrible, wasn't he? I mean, the thing is, it's been like this. The refs have always been like this, and we know what we get when we get referees. You never expect them to be really good.
Can I do, because I forgot, I was supposed to mention before we even started on these referees, right? Got to say, right, Charlton were the better team yesterday and deserved the win, right? That's how it was. They won, right? We're here having to go at the referee. We're not here having to go at the referee saying, well, I'm not saying that it's because of the referee that we lost. It's the standard of the referee and the quality of yesterday. Sorry, Dino, carry on.
Yeah, but I mean, the referee just didn't manage the game well at all. It makes it worse how all of a sudden it's come out that he's a Geordie. I've seen it on Newcastle fan pages on Twitter and stuff saying that.
Of course, they would mention it.
He was a Geordie and stuff like that. It's just one of them, innit? I mean, like you say, we got beat because we just weren't good enough. Charlton's always a hard game. I don't even know why they're a hard game for us, but they just always seem to be. And the referee just
carry on, Dino.
I can't help myself. But yeah, I mean, what do you want us to say? I mean, I'd love to go in and call him an absolute bell and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, he's doing a job and he's not very good at it. And he should be demoted back down to picking the Northern League, because apparently he used to referee in the Northern Alliance. He should just go back down to there because he's not cut out to play to referee a League One standard game. It's as simple as that, because it was woeful.
All right, Jack, what did you think of the referee yesterday?
Well, as the resident referee on the channel, we have this. I think this comes up every week. You do get told as a referee from your FA to never comment on anyone else's decisions, and that's when you're at the game yourself or doing stuff like this. So I don't really want to go and but that's not what you said off air. Shall I repeat what you said off air? I don't really want to go and comment on his decision making. But yes, what you're saying there is correct.
Right, okay. Just it's fair play to Jack. Jack does referee, although at a very, very low, low level.
Obviously, it's nothing compared to Darren Drysdale's level.
Jack, you couldn't have done much worse.
And I'm not trying to say I'm on that level, but it's literally the FA do say You know, you aren't supposed to be commenting on other referees' decisions as a respecting.
Sorry, sorry about that, Jack. Yes, right. Well, the thing is, there was three major.
One thing I will say
go on, then.
is, as a referee who supposedly grew up in Newcastle and is supposedly a Newcastle fan, I think probably quite irresponsible to let him referee a Sunderland game. Oh, and for him to accept the game as well. Yeah. And you know, I have a feeling that I know for a fine fact, if I ever did one day become a professional referee, which I doubt I ever will do, but if I do, and I get asked to referee a game in Newcastle, I would say no. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to put myself through it. Because if you do make a mistake or you make a decision that the fans disagree with it, that's the narrative everyone's got to point to. Well, he's a Mackham, isn't he? And you might have just genuinely made a mistake, had a bad game, and you wouldn't want to put yourself in that situation. Well,
I was going to come to this a little bit further down here, but we'll do it now as soon as we're talking about it. There's been a lot of speculation, allegedly. You know, he's a Newcastle fan. He was brought up in Stakeford, and that he was a Newcastle fan. We will say, I mean, I've done quite a bit of research this afternoon trying to find out if there's any substance in that, and I can't find it. So it's just one of them things that, you know, he's been brought up that side of the water sort of thing, and so people are now saying, "Oh, he's a MAGA," and whatever. Now, for me, and I'll ask you all individually if you would agree this. Even if he is a Newcastle fan, right, I still find it very hard to believe, right, that he would jeopardize his career, right, by giving decisions against Sunderland, which he should have given, sort of thing. Because if anything, if it was me, I would be even more inclined to sort of go the other way, so that people can't say you're biased. Say that. So, your thoughts on that, Michael? I mean, let's say he is a Newcastle fan. Do you honestly believe that he would purposely give decisions against Sunderland, right, because he's a mag?
No, probably. Well, I'd like to think not. But these days, I suppose, again, given the standards of it, it might just be that he's just incompetent standard. I don't know. Only he'll know himself. What's his name? Darren Drysdale. Yeah, only Darren himself will know if he's a Newcastle fan or not.
First name terms now.
I don't know.
Me and Daz.
Yeah, only he'll know if he is a Newcastle fan or not. But I mean, I do get what you mean. If I was, I mean, I'm nowhere near in fit state to be a referee at all. But if I was a referee in charge of a Newcastle game, you want to try and, you know, not say favour, but you'd be leaning more to giving decisions Newcastle's way, even if they're 50-50 decisions, to prove that, to make people not say that you're not biased. But I don't know. I mean, the one thing I will touch upon is, and I want to sort of address this.
Touching again.
Fine. I will touch.
It's his Sunday night tradition. He loves touching under the table.
I wonder who started this joke, Phil. The one thing I will bring up is that I'm getting quite tired, and there's been a few people that have been saying, not many, but there's been a few that have been saying that we were rubbish, but that all of a sudden means we can't criticise the referee. Yes, we can. The referee is paid to do a professional.
A bit of both, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, not fully. Obviously, we still have to take responsibility, and I'm one of the first to say that. But at the end of the day, the referee is paid to do a professional job. This is a professional game of football here. We're not talking like a Sunday league standard or anything. This is a professional.
Did we have professional players out there yesterday? Because
might as well not have done. Might as well not have done, Phil. Might as well not have done. But the point stands, we can still criticise the referee. You can do both. You can say that you were rubbish and still say that the referee was just as bad, if not worse. So, I'm getting tired of this. We can't keep talking about the referees. It's an easy excuse when we lost a game. Like, you think so, but sorry, the referees have got to be decent standard in this division. Teams, forget us. Teams could get relegated off the back of controversial decisions or cost promotion on the back of controversial decisions.
Right, okay. Quickly on the chat then. JLR says not fit enough to referee in the Russell Foster League. This is a little bit harsh from Thane down here, but says that ref was terrible. But personally, I think young Jack would be even worse.
Thane, go on.
I think he's gone off and out. I think they're Tim.
Anytime, anywhere.
Justin Rico, morning lads, tuning in from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Good to see you all. Welcome to our Canadian viewers. Also, John Thompson says the linesmen weren't much better. Emma says the FA shouldn't have let him sort of referee if they'd known he was a mag. Throw it over to you, Dino. Let's say he is a Newcastle fan. Do you honestly think he would purposely sort of throw decisions against us?
Yeah, as long as it's not obvious. If you're giving penalties when it's outside the box and handballs when it was nowhere near handball, then you can say, oh well, that's match fixing. But if you do it slyly, where you just say, oh, there wasn't enough contact, but then giving fouls to the other team when them haven't really been touched, then you can
touching
again, man. You've got to pack this in, man.
Whoa! but you can what do you call it? You can actually like get around that because there is no kind of match fixing there. You're judging that one tackles a foul and one tackles not. And I mean, there has been cases over the years where referees have done little things for match fixing and stuff like that.
Isn't it a little thing?
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, referees can. You just said there, I would swing it the other way so it doesn't look like I'm being biased. So you actually said you would swing it against the other team so you don't look biased. You said that.
But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, we shouldn't even have to have this conversation of would you swing one way or swing the other way.
We shouldn't be allowed in the first place.
Now, are we?
No, we're not you and Karen.
Oh god.
Right. Down here, it looks like Thane's bottle's gone somewhere because I've just seen it. Sorry, Jack, I couldn't help myself. I was only joking.
I just bottled it now. That's Thane there with a bit water.
Right then, well, what we'll do, there was I won't ask you, Jack, because obviously you don't want to comment on that.
Wait, look, what is the question? Do you think you gave decisions based off of him?
Yes.
Well, in all honesty, no, none of us can really know. We can all say what we think, but we don't really know. Was he given decisions based off of who he allegedly supports?
Only he'll know that, really.
Only he will know if he was given decisions based off of which team he allegedly does or doesn't support. However, what I will say again is that I think it's very irresponsible for both AFL and for Darren Drysdale himself to accept this game and be appointed to this game to referee. You know, you would like to think that every referee is given a game every week that's got nothing to do with their club or their family's club or any game that can even relate to them. You know what I mean? You wouldn't get Michael Oliver refereeing us because he openly admits he was a Newcastle fan.
But see, there's the problem though. He might not be a Newcastle fan. He might have been brought up in the era or whatever. He might not be a Newcastle fan, but he'll still have a little bit. You'll have a soft spot for Newcastle.
Well, exactly. Some sort of connection.
Like a second team to support. There's people like that. Or you might have had a bad experience in Sunderland once before. I hate them. If I ever referee them, I'm going to give them now. You just don't know what his personal life is. He might have been attacked in Sunderland at one stage. You just don't know, do you? And some people just don't like Sunderland just for the simple fact it's Sunderland. So you just never know.
Right, fair enough. There's a valid point here on the chat from John Treborian. Because I'd said that
John Travolta there.
Yeah, imagine.
You won't remember, will you?
No, I know.
Oh, really? John Treborian says, because of course I'd said I find it hard to believe he would jeopardise his career, but he says the ref jeopardised his career when he squared up to the Ipswich lad, which again we're going to touch on surely. He's proved he can't separate personal from professional.
Shouldn't really be touching with all these.
So that's a fair comment. Three major incidents yesterday then. The handball for the penalty, which I don't know if you watched Quest last night.
I saw the little clip of the pundits talking about
it. Then they said that should have been a penalty. The headbutt, which Lee Johnson commented on Flanagan, which he expects to be sort of reviewed. And there was a challenge from Gilby on Pritchard in the centre circle. And this is the one what stood out for me during the game. We sit next to an ex-referee. Hi, Paige, how you doing? And he was going mad about it. What I'm going to do, and I don't know if I'll get wrong for this, but we'll give it a go anyway. We're going to show you the incident for those who may not have seen it, in the just get it up here for you, all right? Just by the
Getting it up,
yeah.
touching.
Oh God,
It's not really a very 3B.
Just by the centre circle here. So you'll see that the foul on Pritchard, and let us know what you think here, right? So. I mean, we'll show you that again. And we'll show you one more time.
on a loop.
So there you go. So, we've got to ask the question, how is that not a foul? And it's right in front of the referee. And, it's just, these are the things what are so frustrating. And as we've said, we've had poor quality referees already this season. But I think we'll all agree, barring Jack, that he has been by far the worst we've had.
Well, that takes some doing, given the standards.
You never know whether I agree or not.
Well, I know your opinion on it because you told us before you came on air. Right. Well, the thing is the referees are assessed by the PGMO. Do you know that? You'll know that.
I didn't know it was called a PGMO. I think I'll only get assessed if I
professional game match officials, right, which cover every EFL game. So, and these assessors write a report on each game, as do the club manager compiles a report as well. So obviously there'd be a report going in. So should the club make a complaint against this referee? Dino, do you want to start us on that?
I would say any referee who doesn't have a good game, who's very just lets time waste and go, regardless of if he's a Newcastle fan or not. If the referee's been poor, he should be putting a complaint anyway, because this is why officials are as bad, because probably no one puts a complaint in. If you start putting complaints in against referees who are absolutely awful, they'll probably not referee your game again, and it might make the referees get full-time jobs and trying to improve the refereeing, because at the end of the day, the best referees are on the Prem, and even they're not the greatest. So imagine the ones in League One, how bad them actually really are. And if these lads want to get to the Prem, they need a lot more practice.
All right. Just very quickly, because Thane says it was Dobson and not Gilby. So can I have a quick... sorry.
No, it was Gilby. Well, it certainly wasn't Dobson, because Dobson was number 4, I think, for Charlton.
He was, yeah.
The person who fouls him is number 11.
Dobson picks the ball up after, doesn't he?
That's Dobson.
Yeah, there's Dobson there.
So. He does go through.
Right, okay. So, sorry, Thane, it was Gilby, all right, but I will send you a voucher for Specsavers. And
just do the same time dry still.
That'd be helpful.
Should the club make a complaint there? I forgot what your name is. Schultz?
Darren Drysdale.
No, Michael. Should the club make a complaint?
Yes, 100%. Yes, I think, like Dino said, it's the same with like how I've talked about in the past about how standards of players have got to be raised. Standards of referees have got to be raised as well. Again, I think Jack was the one who told me that. Again, these refs are employed are not full-time referees; they're part-time refs. At the end of the day, the EFL's got to put the investment in to get decent referees, or you've got to get some sort of procedure in to improve the standards of these referees, because the amount of times that teams, again, for and against Sunderland, have had so bafflingly obvious decisions not given in their favour. And when it's happened right in front of the referee, or it's happened right in front of the linesman as well, the officials, they've got to improve. And the only way that's going to do that is if you give the feedback, whether it's positive or negative, and especially when it's negative or it's constructive, then as long as it is constructive, then I'm sure the EFL or the FA, whoever looks at this, has got to look at the complaints themselves. But yes, I completely agree. Do you think so?
Well, yeah, it's that's the whole process of them being assessed all the games. It's to improve the standard of refereeing. That's the whole point of it. If the club puts a complaint in against the referee, I mean, what's it going to achieve, or what do we hope it's going to achieve?
Is it not just the right thing to do? Like, if the club feel as if the performance of the referee warrants a complaint, that's what the complaint system is there for. And surely it's just the right thing to do. If you feel as if it was too poor of a performance, I'm not saying whether I think it was or it wasn't, but if the club does think it was, a performance that was too poor, and they don't put a complaint in, surely that negates the ethos of having the entire complaint system there. By having the complaint system, theoretically, it means that the best referees rise to the top, and the ones that aren't quite good enough will still find a level. However, they should always be improving, and surely that's the best thing for the sport, because we can all agree that if we could pick a ref who was going to have a perfect game every single game, of course we all would.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's what this complaint system is there to try and achieve.
I mean, Jason Ashman there says, why complain now it happens? But like you just said there, the whole point of the assessors is to improve the standard.
We aren't going to get anything from it, but surely for the sport,
surely for future games, though, you could then maybe have the standard not be as bad as that. So isn't that in itself worth it?
I mean, this referee has form, as I think it was Norman Longstaff pointed out a bit earlier, where there's the incident which we've got in here, which we showed you where he earlier this year, wasn't it? That he squared up to the Ipswich player, what was his name? Judge.
Alan Judge.
And he got a ban for that, and I had to apologise, Drysdale. So he has got form for things like this. But if we do complain, and like I say, is banning him for a game or two going to make him a better referee? That's the thing. Dino, your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I'm not a referee. I don't know the system. But if you start banning him, you're literally taking money out of his pocket, so you'll have to improve it. Yeah, I mean, if you stop him from going to refereeing games, he's going to have to improve, because if you start banning referee, then you might have the problem that people just don't want to referee anymore. So it's like a catch-22. You need to find the right system. But for me, I would ban him for a couple of games, maybe a month. It's a loss to his income, and then you'll have to improve. You not make them same mistakes again.
Jack, you want to know that?
Yeah, I know it's a completely different level, of course, I'm officiating to Darren Drysdale, but obviously it's still the same job. And I would like to think that if there was a team, whose game I'd refereed and they were so disappointed in my performance as if I wasn't fit to referee, even the level I do, it being so low, I would like to think they would actually still put a complaint in and say, well, this isn't good enough. And that's coming from someone who would actually have the complaint put in about them, because I've had stinkers of a game, and like I say, I would like to think that if a team genuinely felt as if I wasn't good enough to referee at even the level I do, they would still feel as if they had every right to say, look, we don't think this is right, because I think it should happen at every level.
I was going to contact you today, because I was going to ask if you would wear your referee's kit.
Be appropriate, wouldn't it?
To the wash.
Right, well, here's a fair point then. Cale Watson says on here, right, nobody would be talking about the referee if we'd won. We didn't lose the game because of the referee, which we did. We have said, Charlton were the better side. They deserved the win. We weren't very good, and they deserved the win. Tony Lee agrees with him, and unfortunately, it's probably right. If he'd still had that stinker of a game and we'd won,
we would maybe mention it, but we'd probably just,
well, I would have certainly
push it under the carpet and be like, but we wouldn't, so it's all right.
But why should the officials get a free pass just because we're lost? This is what I mean. Just because we were rubbish. First of all, we've actually acknowledged this, but I'm sorry. I mean, I know AJJ said it's a weak excuse. No, for me, it's not. You've got to improve the standards of refereeing. There's a couple of times, like I said, I've said again, and I'll repeat it. I've seen decisions given for Sunderland that are absolutely atrocious. Again, the two I've mentioned, the Bradford one and the Bristol Rovers one, both of them were shocking. Bradford had a real reason to complain a couple of years ago when that goal, was clearly over the line. It was evidently it was over the line. The linesman should have seen it and somehow wasn't given, got away with that. And a clash of heads in the build-up to Charlie White's goal and Bristol Rovers win a couple of years ago. What? I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. Just because we've been shocking doesn't mean the referees have a free pass. I'm sick of this. We can't blame the referee or can't criticise him. We can criticise them. They're paid to do a job the same way the players are.
I think it's a mixture. It's like you can still comment on.
That's what I mean. You can do both.
Don't get me wrong. The performance yesterday from ourselves, which with nearly half an hour,
which we've acknowledged.
We've acknowledged, but we haven't went into it really. Our performance yesterday was absolutely shocking.
We were poor.
That is the worst performance I've seen so far this season, and all bar about maybe one or two players on the pitch played absolutely awful. But I think it's still then fair to say, however, there was also problems with the officials, if you believe there were. I think it's a mixture. And I understand what Kayle's saying, and to a point, I agree. I think if we had one, most people wouldn't have mentioned it as much as we have done. But I still think you can comment.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, he says we won't be talking about this if we'd won. However, we've won all the previous games at the Stadium of Light this season, and we've mentioned the referee.
Well,
we've mentioned that.
I think we've talked about it nearly every Sunday.
Well, we're there. On the Burton game, I don't think we mentioned the referee once because we played really, really well and we should have won that game, but it was just not our night. And I don't think we actually even mentioned the referee once that time.
If you want to look at another game, look at the Fleetwood game when we drew 2-2, and we stated, look, the penalty we got. If you're going to give our penalty, you give Fleetwood's penalty. No, that's fair enough. The referee was shocking on the basis that neither penalty should have been given or both should have been given. So again, yeah, we acknowledge that Charlton deserved the win. They showed more fight. They wanted it more than we did, and they got the outcome that their endeavour and performance deserved. But it doesn't mean that the referee and the lines officials can get off scot-free. So again, I'm tired of
the one Mike was being touching.
David Miller says,
"Oh no, God, I'm scarred for life after that."
Good, that was a point.
David Miller agrees with you there, Michael, on what you say. What you have? I've got
a cramp. That's my man.
Neither bloody one.
Is that what you call it? Wine.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Philly, I've got a cramp.
Right. Just very quickly, we got 124 people on the live stream and 52 likes. So we like to try and it's 100 likes if we can on a Sunday night. So just hit the thumbs up if you would. If you are watching on a mobile device and you've got the live chat on, just close the live chat. You'll see that thumbs up. Smash that. Take you a second to do that. And also, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's free to do so, and it'll take you just a second. That will help the channel out immensely. Right, well, that's probably enough on the referee.
32 and a half minutes, you would think so. Let's talk about the game.
So what we should talk about now is the merchandise.
We keep getting told off for that one.
I'm surprised you haven't touched on the goal.
Right, okay, listen. Exactly.
Fine, haven't talked about the goal.
Well, we'll come on to the goal. We'll start. No, overall performance. Let's go with first yesterday. Dino?
It wasn't good, was it? I mean, the team, what was put out was good enough. We had McGeady back in the starting lineup. I thought he was awful. I thought McGeady's been one of the worst players this season. He hasn't really done much. Apart from scoring a pen, he hasn't actually done a lot. The centre midfield was a bit stale. Luke O'Nine's getting a lot of criticism again, but I don't think it's just him. And there's a lot of players not turning up, the likes of Winchester. I thought Aidan O'Brien tried his best. He seemed to have the ball all the time, but just couldn't do anything with it because the runners were just not running for him, or he couldn't find the pass. Just little individual mistakes, poor decision making. Didn't someone say we had the first shot at 30 minutes or something like that? I think we had two. I think we had 2 shots on goal all game.
Yeah, we nearly scored 2 goals in the first 5 minutes or something.
O'Brien had a shot in the first 10 minutes.
It's what I can't really remember. I can't really remember much of the game because it was actually that dull. Like, we had a good start, and then it was just like quite dull, and them started getting on top of it, and it was just like we didn't really create many chances, to be fair. We're a long way off to what we had seen at the start of the season, and Charlton. Don't get us wrong. Charlton would have had that kick up the arse where they get rid of the manager, and then all of a sudden.
Well, when we had this conversation on Thursday, and Terry was saying, "I don't buy all this second manager." And it happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Almost every time a manager gets sacked as a response in the next 3 games.
Well,
every time.
Look, when we played Newcastle, didn't we sack the manager 3 times in a row? We beat them every single time.
I know it's more than that, to be honest. But
do you know what I mean? More than that. It is a thing. It's like the players just like, right, we got rid of him. It's a fresh start.
It's a clean slate for them. They can raise the game. They might have a chance.
It's going to take this new manager coming in. I've got to be good for him. Those old stale tactics that they might have been getting a bit sick of and stuff are out the window, and they're helped a bit,
Well, when we had Tyler on Tyler Rowlandson, by the way, the Charlton fan, check out his YouTube channel. He said the likes of Dobson was being left out in the cold by Adkins.
Poor little George.
Well, but you know, so all of a sudden he's gone. Dobson comes in. He's naturally going to want to play. I didn't think Dobson was that bad yesterday.
Where was he playing left back? I sent him in. Where was he playing?
But
I think he was just holding. But I always thought he was alright.
To be fair, Dobson did his job. He came away with a 1-0 win.
Well, I actually think he had a good game yesterday, and I think it just proves he got a bad rap. Most of the time he was at Wicklow.
But there's the classic example of, you know, he wasn't getting picked under Adkins. He goes, he's in the team. He says, right, I want to keep this place in the team. And that'll happen with a number of players, and it happens so many times when a manager gets sacked. There's that response. Jack, overall performance yesterday?
Terrible. I thought something we've done quite well so far this season is the speed and move the ball up, and we can get the ball from defence to attack very quickly. And when we're doing that, we have players moving off the ball. You know, if Dan Nail's running through the centre of the field towards the final third, you get the wingers dropping in a little bit, asking for the ball. You get the fullbacks coming in behind. You get players moving into space, trying to get themselves into areas that can score goals. That just wasn't happening yesterday. Callum Doyle was picking the ball up in defence, and Flanagan was the same. And instead of the midfielders dropping in to receive the ball, there was just no movement. We were so static. When we did try and move forward, we were too slow and lethargic. There was times when they might have had a corner or they were just on the attack, and we had an opportunity to counter them and get at them while they were disorganised and didn't have many men back. But we're taking our time too much. We're turning around and passing it backwards. So many times we could have really went forward, had a go at them, and we didn't. We were slow, we were lethargic, we stopped, we thought about everything far too long. And like I say, I just think the way we moved the ball up the pitch was just painfully slow. And the worst thing is, we know it'll be better than that because we've done it all season. What we've done all season is move the ball exceptionally quick from defence to attack. So teams don't have a second to think about what's going on. What we're doing yesterday, we're doing so slow. I thought Johnson's substitutions, you know, I'll give Johnson credit when I think he's done well. I think he's done excellent so far this season. But equally, when he deserves criticism, deserves criticism. You just said it there. His substitutions were absolutely terrible yesterday. I think we all thought, oh, Diaki's coming on, that's quite good. And out of the three behind the strike, you bring off the one who's actually having a half decent game in Pritchard, McGeady and O'Brien. Yeah. You know, again, O'Brien, I give him a lot of praise. I give him stick when he had a bad game. He was terrible yesterday. He should have came off.
Well, over McGeady, because I thought McGeady was worse.
Either of them. I think you could have.
I thought O'Brien was trying to make things happen. It just wasn't happening for him. Like it was a chat.
You'll always have that endeavour, but out of the three that are behind Stewart that you could have took took off for Diaki, you brought off the best player. When he was bringing Corey Evans on, I think we all thought, oh right, O'Nine's coming off. We're going to have two midfielders who were good as well. And you're thinking Dan Neil, fair enough, he hadn't had the best game, but my God, out of him and O'Nine, if you had, put money on one to create a chance, you'd put it on Dan Neil, wouldn't you? O'Nien, you know, I know me and you sung his praises, I think, the other night in the lead of the game on Tuesday in response to criticism from him. He was absolutely awful yesterday. He gave the ball away every time he got it. I just think starting to finish
look at the bright side, you can put him on free kicks.
Oh, out of all players putting a free kick,
I didn't.
You've got McGeady on the pitch. You've even got. You could put anyone. Why put O'Neill? I've never seen him put a good set piece in that. It's not what his game is.
The thing is, though, you don't know what he's like in training. For all you know, in training, he's hitting 9 out of 10 top corner. But I know training in the game is totally different. But the only way you're going to get that experience is by doing it in a game. And for all you know, like he is capable of doing it. I mean, I've seen him on Instagram putting them in top corner. I know that Instagram is fake. I know it's not real.
He could have recorded that 20 times.
I know, but there's must be a reason why he's on free kick. It's like when Harry Kane was on free kicks and that for England. He must have been doing something in training to get put on them, and then in the game he just called out.
Roy Hodgson was the manager, of course.
It's different if McGeady takes a quick free kick, passes it to 0909, shoots. That's different.
Yeah,
but on free kicks, look, every time if you're on a set piece, at the end of the day, who do you want to take it? Luke O'Neill or Aidan McGeady?
We've got a set piece expert in Aidan McGeady who scored free kicks for us on numerous occasions, including that worldie in the final against Portsmouth. Why put O'Neill on, who we can still say he's a good player and he can contribute things to the team, but banging in a free kick is not his game. His game is off the ball work.
Can I just say though, if Johnson's took McGeady off free kicks, but O'Neill on, doesn't that just show that maybe O'Neill is absolutely crap them in? Because it takes a lot to get McGeady off free kicks, and we all know that because he is the set piece specialist. And then all of a sudden McGeady's not taking free kicks. he must be doing something special in training if he's.
Onan's taken a few and they've all been rubbish. So I don't see.
That's very true.
To be honest, I
in a
think,
game he hasn't done anything.
I think a short assessment would just be absolutely terrible, and we'll go again on Saturday.
Virgin goal when Onan's taking free.
Right, so when
that's why he's
quite
not
a good
scoring
comment,
loads
isn't it?
because he's got Burge.
To be fair, that is a canny comment.
Right, just very
Best keeper in the league.
right,
He's taken off.
right, just very quickly then. Before I come to you, Michael.
Yeah, sure.
On the chat there, Tony Lee says McGeady should have took that free kick instead of Onan, which I was saying that. Then saying McGeady should have went off instead of Pritchard. AJJ, Johnny Jackson made changed 5 players yesterday and went 4-4-2. So completely changed it up for them. Which we interviewed a couple of Charlton fans on the fan cams. Check them out on the channel if you've not seen them yet. And they were saying it was a complete contrast from what they've been watching to watch what they saw at the stadium alike. So they were buzzing.
It happens though when a new manager comes in and plays.
It's just typical they chose right before playing Sunderland to get rid of
Well, AJJ does make the comment where he did delete off there, but he said Burge is in goal when 09 takes the free kicks in training. Right, Michael, overall performance yesterday?
Rubbish.
And we'll move on.
Yeah. Would you like me to continue? We just didn't. We were just flat. Every time we tried to go forward, we just didn't have any momentum. We didn't have any urgency about us. And I thought a lot of the time when we tried to get in the final third, we played our passages of play, we played in front of Charlton. And the problem was that every time we put crosses into the box, they were wayward. Or when we had a decent ball going into the box, no one was gambling at the back post or at the centre of the 6-yard box, whoever it was. There was just not enough people taking responsibility yesterday going forward. Every time we got in front of it again, every time we tried to do anything, it was easy. It was far too easy for Charlton to defend. And like Jack said, the good thing that we have been doing this season is that we've gone from defence. If you look at the 4th goal against Crewe in midweek, I know obviously at that point Crewe were 3-0 down. They had to try and get a consolation, but look at it. It was basically from a Crewe corner, pass, Diaku runs through, scores, and to touch on. Sorry, I'm doing the word touch again. To expand on Jack's point. To expand on Jack's point about the substitutions, I felt Lee Johnson was far too reactive subs-wise yesterday. I thought that I was saying
half time. I think would have been a better
time. Or I was saying 5-10 minutes before they scored, I was thinking they're starting to really put the pressure on here, and we need to.
That goal was coming
exactly.
Yeah,
But at that point in the game, the goal Charlton was starting to build momentum and was starting to get the urgency going, and the goal was going to come from Charlton. And
they deserved to win that game.
They
had more fight in them. They wanted it more than we did.
I mean, but from our perspective, that's poor though, because we're at home in front of 30,000. Well, I know Charlton had a few thousand, but say 28,000 Sunderland fans. Like, how can you not have more fight? How can you not want it as much?
I think since Portsmouth, as much as we've beat Crewe 4-0 on paper, that's a great result, and we won away at Gillingham. But in both of those games, I haven't been amazed by the performance. It seems as if since that Portsmouth game, which we all kind of thought, if we win our next 2 games, it's all right and we'll put it behind us. It seems as if like the confidence and the momentum at that, and like almost just the urgency we're having with playing has just dropped right off. Like it doesn't look as if it was that same team that we were playing against. I don't know, Cheltenham and those types of games where we're zipping the ball about and we're playing with a real intent. Charlton should have had more yesterday. It was literally about five minutes before the goal went in. It was that Pennington, the number 3.
Something like that.
He, in fact, the move right up to the point where Pennington hit the ball was almost exactly the same as when he scored at Wembley at the back post. And it was a tap in and he put it wide. And everyone's going, wee!
That's the problem though, because we kept on allowing Charlton to get behind our fullbacks, put crosses into the box, or get into the box with ridiculous ease. And I don't know how we didn't heed the warnings. We kept on letting it happen. And eventually, I kept saying before that a goal's coming. If we don't book ideas on the goal's coming.
It happened time and time again.
And this is why I was going on about. I wanted to change. I wanted Diaku and Gooch. I thought they were the right changes to come on to get some more energy in the game. But they should have been brought on at 0-0 because then it means Charlton instinctively are thinking, right, we're going to have to sit further back here because drop back 5-10 yards, which then relieves pressure on Sunderland's defence. And that was, because we were, and Johnson, to be fair, has been good at stuff like that. But yesterday he was far too reactive. I don't think he helped the team.
Right. It was an off day.
I want to bring Dino in because he wants to get in there. I just quickly want to say hi to Flavio Silva, City Mirasol, Brazil. I don't know if that's where you're off. If that's your team or whatever. So thanks for tuning in from Brazil. Dino, you was one.
Yeah, on two things. I mean, it could have been a totally different game if we scored that goal. You know, when Circuit hit the bar or post.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, I'm sure it was 0 at that point. If he scores that, it could change the game. And another thing on their goal, I mean, Luke O'Nien tried to do a Luis Suarez and punch the ball.
This was.
Was it? Sorry, mate. But it was. I mean, he's making so many stupid decisions. Why are you doing that for? Because say you do save it off the line, we're down to 10 men, and they probably will score the pen.
But even if they don't score the pen, they've got like 30 minutes with 10 men, haven't they? So there's chances.
And then that's another player out for another 3 games, like Embleton is.
So if you want to talk about the referee in that sense, it was probably wrong decision for him for Charlton, because then that could have maybe got them a better goal difference up. But
it's. I mean, that's they're all going about this sitter. What was missed by that? It was the girl furthest away from us. Sorry, Karen. It was the goal furthest away from us. So I mean, it looked a howler from where we were.
Oh no! 9 times out of 10 that goes in the back of the net, and it's 1-0, 5-10 minutes earlier than it should be. They could have quite easily won 3-4-0 yesterday. When they scored the goal and that. And I'm kicking seats and stuff like that and whatever. And then everybody's going, it's disallowed and whatever. Because the linesman flagged. To say it was a goal.
Right. Well, it flagged. And so everybody's going, and the guy next to me said, it's offside. All right. I mean, like that. And obviously watching it back, as the linesman flagged because O'Nien handled the ball. Is that why that was? Anybody?
I think so, but even when he handled the ball, apparently the Charlton player, the other player, put it in the back of the net anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, so they kind of scored twice in that one.
We weren't getting away from that without conceding.
I think he put his flag up to say the ball went over the line. I think, but
right.
I could be 100%.
But did it actually? Is it proper confirmed?
I mean,
went over the line yet?
Whether it did or it didn't, like I think a goal was coming at that point.
And Charlton did deserve it one way or the other.
Charlton deserved it, and we deserved it. So
should Luke O'Nien have been booked for the deliberate handball then, or what?
Well, if it's when in the back. If went in, so
if it's went in,
that's usually a red card. If it's a handball.
Well, no, if he saves it with his hand, he's off, and it's a penalty.
But if the ball's already in the back of the net, then the ball's technically out of play. It's like the ball goes out for throwing. Of course, you can't touch it with your hand. You're allowed to, so it's out of play.
Did you say the word touch again?
Yes, Michael, I did, but I was referring to touching the football.
Oh, were you now?
Right, all right. Just very quickly, we've got 75 likes, another 25 people. Just hit that thumbs up if you would, and we'll get that up to 170 people on the live stream as we are. And don't forget, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's free to subscribe, and Dino is wagging his finger.
Yeah, I mean, I know we got beat, and people are already losing their heads again. People are losing. I seen someone say he's got 2 more games. If he doesn't win his next 2 more games, I want him gone. I'm like, for God's sake, man, it's a defeat. In a season, you are going to get beat by teams lower than you. You're going to get beat by teams who are higher than you. It's what football is. People go into games thinking just because Sunderland would deserve to win. Not the case at the end of the day. And he's known as streaky, but don't forget the players go out on the pitch at the end of the day. The players are responsible for trying to get the result, and people are actually saying, he's got 2 more games. Come on, man.
Well,
that's pathetic. Look, we've had a few dodgy performances, and yesterday was probably the worst of the lot, potentially by Portsmouth. A few bad results, but look, it's not that big, Phil.
You be a bit childish. Right, listen. It's how we bounce back, right? We've we lost to Portsmouth, and then we've got those 2 back-to-back wins, and if you like, the kids won against Man United as well.
Yeah. When we lost to Burton, I think we won something like 6 of our next 7 or whatever it was. And Fleetwood obviously should have been a win. Like you said, lost against Portsmouth. In all competitions, we won the next 4 games. So whenever we've dropped points, we have responded with successive victories. I think I've seen a couple of people go that's it. It's definitely playoffs. Like, why? Just because we've lost,
already playoffs. I know we've been on 13 games or something.
I know exactly. We're above 2 points per game. Do people forget? We've played Wigan, beat them twice. We've played Wycombe, we've already beat them. We've played Bolton, who, recently they've been not very good, but when we played them, they gave us a really good game. Charlton were always going to be more rejuvenated under a new management. So this is ridiculous. This.
Right then. Okay. Well, what about positives from yesterday?
We only lost 1-0.
Well, do you want to start as Michael? Anything? Any players you could sort of say?
If I agree, when Jack said earlier about the three behind Stewart, I thought Pritchard was probably certainly going forward our best player on the pitch. I thought Pritchard was one of the ones who sometimes he had to come deep for the ball because no one else either side of him. And I know Dino said that O'Brien was trying to make things happen. He can never fault his endeavour, but I thought he was largely ineffective personally. McGeady was worse. I thought McGeady was especially ineffective. Dan Neil, again, I thought he was going back to the decision we were talking about before, why Johnson took Neil off instead of 09, I don't know. So, but yeah, Pritchard and Neil I thought looked all right. Sirkin, to be fair, there was a couple of times Sirkin was getting caught out of position, but again, nobody in front of him was trying to do anything. So, he might as well have tried to make everything happen himself. So I'd say Sirkin, Neil and Pritchard probably. I don't even know if I want to know what you're laughing at. Moving on.
Sorry, Michael.
I'm done anyway.
Dino, positives out of yesterday?
The only positives you can take is the fact that you can see some of the players need taken out the squad. I.e. McGeady. McGeady needs to come out. He's been out. He's been in. He's been very ineffective. He's not the same. He's not the same player. I don't know what it is. Maybe he might be injured. I don't know. I don't want to make an excuse for the bloke, but he has not been on it. He's just not been on it. I mean, last season he had half a season. He done unbelievable.
He got the most assists in the league in
half a season.
He came in was it early December?
Yeah, so he missed about half of the season. Yeah.
And then he starts the season. I think he got 1-2 goals. I don't know how many assists, but he's just nowhere near where he needs to be. I think Luke O'Neill needs taken out the squad. He's had a couple of bad games. I mean, I don't associate. I don't associate Luke O'Neill with having bad games. He's normally a solid 6 to 7 out of 10, but he's been lower than that. So maybe take him out.
His free kicks are on 1 or 2
maybe get Winchester in there or Corey Evans in there with a.
Who do you then put it right back? Because you've either got to put O'Neill, and apart from that, you're probably looking
you're
probably looking at Kent Richardson.
No. Sirkin come over, and what about Hume? Get Hume back in the team.
Couldn't Alves play? I'm sure when we signed Alves, the club statement said he could play.
He's not really impressed me at
all. Can I just quickly jump in then?
Daily Wright, go with a back three, maybe change the system. There's loads of things you can do. Maybe change the system.
That doesn't know.
Sorry, mate, but
go on then, jump in.
Go on, Phil. Maybe change the system. Maybe the system everyone's figured it out. Change the system to the back three again. Maybe I don't know. We've got loads of the centre defenders.
Well, Phil, what do you think? What positives were there?
No, I just want to say that John Thompson on the chat says if we lose the next 3 games, goodbye Johnson.
Oh come on, man. Behave, man. Behave. And then right. Say we get rid of him. Who do you get? But no one's got an idea.
It'll be another manager. He'll probably come in, have some good games and have some bad games.
We're not even going to comment on stuff like that because
everyone's got the right to opinion.
Listen, an opinion, that's fine. You can have your opinion, but we're not going to get sucked into this because what happens is people say, SAFC Fan TV, we're talking about getting...
Can I just say though, everyone can have an opinion, but sometimes it's best to keep your opinions to yourself.
No, I think everyone's got the right to express their own opinion, but in the same way, we can then say, well, I disagree.
Well, okay, here's one that I think we can unanimously agree that Rotherham and Sheffield are 2 big games coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Massive games.
You've got to get, you've got to get them 2 right to bounce back.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, your dad's on there, Dino, says, can you put the kettle on? Oh, no, sorry. Can't imagine sorry. Can't
imagine what we're going to like against Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday.
It should be, because it threw me, because it should be what we're going to be like, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Something like that. Have a word with your dad.
Do you know what you're saying there? Everyone's right to express opinions and stuff. That's why Twitter's so poisonous, because everyone's so opinionated. Sometimes it's just best not to say anything.
Well, don't get us wrong. There's a difference between being honest and just being nasty. But I think in terms of
disagree, we respect.
If someone genuinely thinks that Lee Johnson should get sacked for losing another 3 games, well, that's fair enough. It's not exactly a nasty opinion. I disagree with it, but
as long as it doesn't get personal, then
yeah, exactly. It's a fair opinion to have. I might disagree, but it's not nasty.
Have an opinion, but then back it up. So instead of saying she wants to be gone the next 3 games, I say I want him gone the next 3 games. If not, if he does go, I want this manager, this man. You'll say to him, you'll say to someone, who do you want? And they'll be, I don't know who's out there.
Steve Bruce.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer.
Well,
League
listen. League One's a tough league.
Right.
Jack,
if we just get a bit of luck.
Jack, positives from yesterday.
There was a couple of players I thought were okay. I thought Pritchard, until he got taken off, was pretty decent.
I agree.
And one player I thought, in particular, the first half, I thought Dennis Cirkin actually had a decent game. I think in the first half, he was one of our only real players who looked as if he could have created anything. Maybe defensively, he got exposed a little bit here and there, but the entire defence and the entire team was rubbish when it came to defending yesterday. So I say Cirkin and Pritchard were two players I thought were okay. And one thing I will say as well is that we've struggled the last few weeks with injuries.
That's a big factor.
And suspensions, but I think Embleton's due back at Rotherham.
Yes, because I thought he was suspended. I thought his suspension didn't count for QPR, but apparently it does.
So,
well, James, when we had James Copley on, he stated that there was going to be it, but then he did actually
he corrected himself.
He corrected him on social media.
So you know, I'm very happy about that. I want him in there for
don't get us wrong, it was a terrible game, but I think Cirkin had a half decent performance, especially going forward, especially in the first half. I thought Pritchard showed a few flashes of ability. I thought Stewart, to be fair, the odd time the ball did go near him, he did something with it. He didn't look as if he dropped off. And Embleton's due back. Corey Evans was back.
Because we're
sorry. Corey Evans looks as if he's ready to come back.
I just wanted one. I wanted one. You just named the whole team.
Well, John just stopped that. And Gooch came back as well. So at least we've got more options.
Stewart, for me, I thought was the shining light out of all of them. His work rate is just
shining light on your baldy head.
It's just why are you like that? You know, what about my mental health?
I'll tell you, here's one more positive. We've got another game in a couple of days. Wait a second, man.
Somebody on here said, "Can you talk about QPR?"
Well, I was going to mention that.
We've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Fine. In a couple of days, we've got QPR to try and get this game out of our system. That's what I was going to say.
Right, okay. I'm not going to QPR.
Oh, boo.
Are you not?
No.
Kaza, boo.
Nice as well. So I'm a bit disappointed as well.
But I have been promised something else instead. Thanks, Kaza. Woo!
Yeah. Just love yellow card.
Except for not letting you go to QPR.
Thanks a lot. Right. QPR then. Let's because we got a couple of minutes left, so let's just quickly on this. Are we all agreed he's going to play the kids?
Kids mixed with fringe players.
Yeah, I think I would try and keep his own people fit for Rotherham and check Wednesday if I could. But
would you risk the players coming back from injury?
No,
I would give them minutes if it can benefit them
because they need to. They can't just go straight into a game. They've got to.
I think the likes of Hume and Evans and Gooch would need minutes, fair enough. But I think if the player's still 50-50 on, you just don't risk them. Save them.
Right. Okay. Let's because we're going to end up over time here. So let's quickly take. I'll tell you what. DJ says, "Are you guys streaming the QPR game now?" As far as we're aware, it's not available on any channels, being the Carabao Cup.
What about the Amsterdam studio?
Well, we don't even think it's available over in the Amsterdam studio either.
I should say, however, Jacob is down there.
However, if we can, is Jacob going?
Yeah, I'm sure he said he was going to QPR group chat.
Right. However, if we can find a way, then we will try and stream it for you. What about a prediction for the QPR game? Dino?
Get beat 1-0.
Lose 1-0?
Yeah.
Michael?
If QPR have got a game 3 days after the playoffs.
I just want to.
Well, no, what I'm going to say is for context. So wait.
All right, okay.
They've got a game 3 days' time in the Championship after playing us, so I think they'll rotate their squad. So I'm going to go 3-1 Sunderland.
3-1 Sunderland.
Yes, but if we lose, I'm not going to lose sleep.
Right, okay. Jack Dodds?
QPR 1, Sunderland 2.
1-2.
Deluded.
Some opinions should be kept to themselves. That was very nasty.
No, sorry. Insulting. Come on.
I'm only kidding, man. It's a joke, man.
Right, well, you know what? I'm going to...
an old married couple.
Oh, you're not bothering.
Oh, not that later. Stop seats. Prove that.
Bill's gone 2-1.
I'm going to go 2-1, the same as Jack, I think. I can't back against them. That just about wraps it up, I think, really. 79 likes. If we can get another 21 on there, that would get us.
Yeah, no one's texted Dino.
To the magic 100. Then we've got Rotherham on the Saturday. A bit of info for you quickly. Sheffield Wednesday tickets are on sale for you from what day are we? From tomorrow morning if you got 20 plus Black Cat points. And then it goes to 10 plus. It's 10 plus from midday tomorrow until Tuesday. And then season ticket holders Tuesday till Wednesday. And then Wednesday they go on general sale. If you want
you going to
Sheffield?
I'm fancying it, to be honest.
I've got me tickets.
I am.
There you go. So we'll hijack Phil's car to go down to
Wow,
Sheffield.
exactly.
I'm fancying it. I don't know. I'll have
I'm going, so I'm looking forward to it.
I just like someone to do a stream here. That's all. So, right. Well, we'll see about that. Look, thanks for joining in. Thanks for joining us, lads. I think you've all been average tonight.
Well, not bothered.
I mean, we're better than the referee yesterday, so that's something.
Whee!
That's not a very good.
Well,
come on,
is Michael Bauer's joke score even that was terrible?
As bad as the referee.
By
By the way, that's not a hard standard to beat.
Right,
Phil on the string, please.
Get the laptop and go.
That was a terrible joke.
Right,
Sorry, Michael, but it was.
we will.
I don't care. It was accurate.
And
See you later.
We'll try our best to stream the QBR game if it's available. We certainly will do that for you. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, please. Dino, say bye.
Goodbye.
Michael, say bye.
See ya.
Jack, say bye. Give a
Bye.
wink and a wink and a wink. Bye and a wink. And a wink. I will see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.